We knock down pins with bowling.
We study for final exams.
MCHS promotes gender inclusivity.
Food for Thought impacts our community.
Cybersecurity Club keeps the web safe.
Key Club celebrates a holiday season.
And we travel back in time at the Mads dinner.
All that and more on the Warrior Weekly. Good morning, Warriors, and welcome to this week's edition of the Warrior Weekly, presented by Warrior Student Media. I'm Ari Juarez.
And I'm Layla Moreno. This week, we take a look at the most stressful week of school, donate canned goods with Food for Thought, and wrap some presents with Key Club.
But first, we knock down some pins with the MCHS's bowling team.
This week, we follow the boys and girls bowling team to Huntley to get a deeper look into the players and sport itself. Madison Donovan, a varsity player on the girls' team, explains how impactful her season has been and how important relationships and connections are to the team.
So it's actually from a friend I met in high school when I was a sophomore, I think, and she kind of inspired me to join the team. It was kind of more like impactful because I have a lot more friends here, and I did recruit a lot more, and they are like friends that I hang out with a lot, so it definitely just makes the environment more fun and interesting.
Donovan states that despite being in several different sports, bowling is her favorite and gives her a different experience than the others. She also gives insight into the more team-oriented aspects of bowling.
I actually love bowling. I do play golf, but bowling is definitely up in my favorite sports category because of the environment. I think it's so fun. And a lot of people hate on bowling, but I think it's really fun. Our teamwork, I say, is pretty strong. I think it's definitely more strong than I think other teams I've been on just because of the friendships we have.
Varsity player Nate Halsma describes what made him interested in the bowling team and how he got into the sport. Halsma provides more information about the power vacuum and improvement of the team from last year.
What inspired me is bowling on a league here when I was about 12, and ever since then I've kind of just fallen in love with the sport. A couple of our best bowlers from last year graduated, so now we got fresh spots on varsity open, and so far we're on track to be even a little better as a varsity team than last year.
Halsma elaborates on the importance of teamwork and strong bond as brought up by Donovan. Though it may not seem like it to most, bowling is a very team-heavy sport, and made people join for the bowling and stay for the friends they've made along the way.
I love it. We become pretty much like brothers on the team, so it's a great time. We pick each other up after bad games. Very good team. We work well together. After bad games, everybody huddles up sometimes and expresses what they did wrong and how they can fix it. Even after some shots, teammates look at each other and give pointers on what they can do. So, yeah, I'd say we've become a really good team just from that respect.
If you're interested in watching their next match, it will be December 15th at Globe Bowl in Marengo. At 4:30, we're Rylan Davis, Jack Fisher, Juliana Fontanella, and Emily Ostrander. See you there, Warriors.
Now, finals week is right around the corner.
Warrior Student Media takes a look at how some of McHenry's students handle the stress.
Finals is an exam that happens every semester. Some students feel stressed because this exam can either make or break your grade. Counselor Nicole Bachigulupo gives freshmen some beneficial tips to help with their first finals.
So what I would recommend for freshmen is that, first off, if they're struggling in a class, they connect with that teacher. They either go in during AIM, ask them if they have free time in class to get some extra support. I think our freshmen are a little more intimidated by their teachers than our upperclassmen. So that would be the first step, and making sure they're utilizing resources like counselors, social workers if they're feeling stressed. Make sure they are getting all the help they need to be successful coming up to finals. Some of my students who struggle in classes have so much missing work that they put off to the week before finals. They don't have time to really study and prepare, and that really puts them in a bind because they're trying to make up late work when they're supposed to be studying for finals. So you're not setting yourself up in a good position to do well on those finals. So making sure that they're thinking about all that late work now as opposed to next week when finals are right around the corner.
Sophomore Tanya Garcia elaborates further on why it's important to prepare for finals.
I would just say definitely study for it. You might not think that it's important, but the first year will definitely bring you down for the rest of them. So when you get that study guide packet, then I would recommend doing that. Usually I rewrite the stuff in the notebook just so I can memorize it and study it more. So that way I can do good during finals. I guess I just kind of say motivational words to myself and just say that just don't be nervous.
Senior Brian Duran gives lower classmen advice on how to physically and mentally prepare for finals and how to beat the stress.
So I'm in leadership in action. So basically I'm going to go over there and talk to them about it pretty soon. I would tell them to just, concentrate. It's the last moments of the year. Our freshman year is how I think you always want to be better earlier than later, Physically, you gotta get rest. Sleep is always good for you, You can't just do finals tired because you're gonna fall asleep. Mentally, just stay away from the bad things, try to get away from that so it won't affect you mentally, give you some doubt or whatever, Always believe that you can do it. There's never, room for negative in your mind.
If you're stressing about finals, please make sure you reach out to your support system or a social worker. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Callie Kordemosh, Braden Mosoff, Alex Julio, and Cameron Mitchell.
Next, many schools around us have been pushing the change of gender inclusivity. However, MCHS has been embracing it.
Here at MCHS, the Gender and Sexuality Alliance provides a safe space for students who identify with LGBTQIA+. The club has members who are passionate about gender inclusivity. Club President Apollo Pickett goes into detail regarding gender inclusivity in the club.
I would define gender inclusivity as how it is. The GSA club is very accepting of all genders, no matter if that's trans, non-binary, the whole spectrum. Even if some ones that aren't as talked about, being gender fluid or such. We are very warm and accepting to all of that because it's important for kids at our school, especially people growing in high school, to have a safe space to be able to express themselves if they're questioning or not.
MCHS strives to incorporate gender inclusivity throughout the school. Apollo gives his opinion on whether or not the school incorporates it well.
I do say yes at some points. The gender neutral bathrooms are a great start, and a lot of staff are very accepting, which is a huge gateway to more opportunities where kids of LGBTQ nature feel more comfortable reaching out to teachers and about certain homophobia and transphobia that happens at a school still, because kids unfortunately will be kids.
Senior Neil Fritz shares an important message regarding students who identify with LGBTQ+.
You don't have to support it or accept it, but at least show us respect, because we want to feel safe in the school just as much as the next person, and we don't want to deal with bullying or name calling just as much as anyone else. So treat us equally. Just remember to be kind, or don't say anything at all if you don't have anything nice to say. So
The GSA is a fairly small club, but is open to anybody interested. Meetings are held on Thursday, unless said otherwise. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Aaron Duarte, Gray Summers, Juan Mendez, and Mika Doe.
This Friday is the conclusion of our Spirit Barrel Showdown. On Thursday is our dress-up day through the ages. Friday, you should dress in your class colors. And at the end of the day on Friday, we have our Winter Spirit Rally. Get pumped, go seniors.
Now, Food for Thought is one of the most beneficial organizations that our school has to offer, taking food donations throughout the year to offer a helping hand to kids at our school facing food insecurity.
Food for Thought is a food pantry that packages meals for students and families that are in need.
Food for Thought is a food pantry and weekend meal program for students here at District 156. We have volunteers that help pack bags each week, and we deliver those to specific pickup locations so students have meals over the weekend.
Mrs. Cheryl Myers gives her thoughts on how the Food for Thought program benefits our community as a whole.
Food for Thought benefits the community because we're feeding students, and the students are productive members of the community, and so by giving them the food that they need, we're helping them be productive members of society.
MCHS makes an impact to make sure all students and families have food on the table each week. Food for Thought is the force behind this plan.
The bottom line is, doesn't matter if it's a student or just a regular, adult, if we don't have our basic needs met, such as food, we're not really going to be productive, we're not going to be able to accomplish what we need to do. Food's a basic need, and allowing that to support our student is going to be extremely beneficial for everyone involved.
The holiday season can cause stress for families in need. Food for Thought tries to take one more thing off parents' plates.
I don't know if I would say that the holiday season is the most important season, because every season is important. However, we do receive a lot of donations during the holiday season, which we're very grateful for, and we also try to give more food during the holiday season as well.
If you would like to volunteer for Food for Thought, email Mrs. Cheryl Myers or Miss Ashley Diedrich if interested. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we're Oscar Kaloje, Marco Vishnovak, and Travis Kokinos.
Next, MCHS's Cybersecurity Club is keeping our computers safe from hackers and practicing their tech skills.
Or are they the ones doing the hacking? Warrior Student Media has the story.
Thinking about a career in Homeland Security? Then Cybersecurity Club is perfect for you. President Kristen Anderson explains what the club is all about.
So we have a lot of different programs that we use. The main one is National Cyber League, which allows us to learn about different cybersecurity skills like open source intelligence, password cracking, and cryptography. And first we practice in a virtual gymnasium, these skills, and then we move on to our individual and team games, where we get to use the skills to compete against other teams.
Anderson explains why she enjoys the Cybersecurity Club and highlights how being a member has positively impacted her every day.
From the first meeting, it was always really fun, and just the group of people that we have. I learned a lot, not only in cybersecurity skills, but I think it just overall improves your critical thinking. And the skills are very valuable, especially because the National Cyber League is an accredited institution, and it's recognized across different employers and colleges. I think that you should definitely join. It's a lot of fun, and you just learn a lot.
If you're ready to hack into action, then meet in 282 every Monday. There's an open seat waiting for you. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly were Kate Watley, Lucia Smith, and Neil Fritz.
Now, Key Club is the biggest club at MCHS, and they volunteer their time to help around McHenry.
The Key Club gifting event wrapped up last week, donating gifts to kids around the community.
Every year, Key Club works with the Pioneer Center and Rosecrans to give gifts to families who can't afford them. Last Wednesday, during Key Club's December meeting, members wrapped donated gifts to prepare them for the delivery.
It actually begins in October for us. So we start getting the word out to the different teams and asking them to be identifying families who they think would benefit from the program. Then they turn in little worksheets, so they sometimes give them to the parent or directly to the kiddo and ask for a wish list for the kiddo and any other kids in the household. And then they all come to me. I organize them and make them into an Excel spreadsheet. We then send that to Miss Thiel, who has this wonderful system of colors and shapes that she uses to keep confidentiality. And then the kiddos go out and buy the gifts and collect donations for the families. And then we come, and after they're all packed up and wrapped, we take them and disperse them to our families.
Key Club's gift wrapping event is a huge highlight of MCHS's Christmas season, with an array of different groups coming together for a fun night of representing and supporting the McHenry community.
It allows us all to have a part. So Key Clubbers have donated gifts, alumni have donated gifts, just everyone that's involved in Key Club has had an opportunity to grab a tag, go out shopping, and get a gift for someone in need or whatever their situation is that they might need some help this Christmas season, and we can bring them some joy. Then Key Clubbers also come in. We also have our Builders Club from the middle school come in and to help us wrap things up so everyone can play a part in spreading that holiday joy and getting these presents to people.
It's just such a fun experience, the energy, you come in and they're playing music and everyone's laughing and having fun. The experience of watching the kids give back, and then knowing for us, we don't get to see the kids open the gifts and things like that, but we know, oh, this kid's gonna be so excited for this.
This year's gift donation proved a success, as 85 families around the McHenry community will be provided with gifts this holiday season.
Yeah, it's a wonderful event, and we're so lucky at Rosecrans to be part of it because we have a lot of families who, struggle to buy those extra gifts for their kids and really make the holidays special. So this really gives them the opportunity for their kiddos to feel special and for them to take a little bit of pressure off.
This year proved another successful year for the gift donations and wrapping, promising families in need gifts under the tree. From everyone at WSM, we hope you have a great holiday and Happy New Year. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we're Alyssa Thomas, Maddie Spencer, and Riley Byron.
The annual magical dinner twas last weekend, causing a stir at Thou freshman campus.
A teacher twas beheaded, songs were a merry, and food twas eaten for a jolly good time.
On Saturday, December 2nd, audience members gathered at the freshman campus auditorium to watch surround sound members and other actors perform at the annual magical dinner. Senior Lacey Thompson, a member of the MCHS Surround Sound, explains what the dinner entails.
The magical dinner is like a Renaissance medieval times type concert for surround sound. They put on like a bunch of like performances, singing, acting, and then anyone that's like maybe not involved in choir comes into it as well and contributes to serving food to guests or like participating in the skit. So it's like a giant like show.
Surround Sound Lacey Thompson explains how Mads Prep expands into the whole first semester of school.
We started learning our music before we even did our first concert. So we were learning 2 different types of music at one pace. Then we would get paired up with who, our spouses would be, pick out costumes, and then pick out like new songs that we haven't done before. And then pick our brigade, do auditions for those, have them pick out their costumes, and then work on like building the set and building the tables and chairs and everything. It's a whole like month-long process, but Mads comes to life really in like a week.
The king of the Mads, Zeke Alvicious, explains how MCHS Magical Dinner differs from other schools' dinners by being more like a musical than simply just a dinner and music.
So basically other magical dinners, there's no like acting part of it. It's usually just like singing and like it's basically just like a performance. But for us, it's like a musical or like a play kind of.
Both showings of the dinner were a huge success for the choir program. If you weren't able to make it to the dinner, Surround Sound and the other choirs will be hosting their annual winter concert on Thursday, December 14th at the Upper Campus Auditorium. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Allie Casey, Emerald Carlson, Maggie Machashik, and McKenna Harvey. Have a great week, Warriors.
That's all for today's show. Be sure to follow the Warrior Weekly on all social media platforms, including Twitter, Insta, and TikTok.
For Layla Marino and all of Warrior Student Media, I'm Ari Juarez. Have a great week, Warriors.